Hi everybody, welcome back to the Why Live In series. Today I'm joined by the Honorable Mayor Raymond Giacobbe of the City of Rahway. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, George.
Thanks. As always, this is George Castings coming to you guys with some real questions from the city mayors to talk about their communities and give you a little bit more information about the background of the city, not just what's going on in the market, but what's going on in the community. Once you buy the house, you become part of that community. So here we are to discuss it. So, Mayor, if anybody hasn't heard of your municipality of Rahway, which I highly doubt at this point, what would you say to them? How would you describe Rahway to them?
It's a beautiful, diverse, safe community, which I've had the pleasure of growing up, spending my entire 41 years on this earth in. When it was time to settle down and have a family, there was no question in my mind that I was going to raise my family in the city of Rahway. The diversity, and when I say diversity, I'm not just talking about race or ethnicity. I'm talking about economic diversity as well.
Sure.
Really gave me a perspective of people that I don't think I would have had if I would have grown up in a more affluent community. I call it the bubble communities.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And having that diversity and having multicultures and people, friends that didn't look like me or come from where I came from. Truly gave me an advantage in life, and I wanted my children to have that same advantage. So there was no question, when my wife and I decided to buy a home, and it was going to be in the city of Rahway, and that was before I was even involved in politics at all.
That's great. That's really good to hear. So that sounds like a pretty good description. One thing that a lot of buyers are caring about is access to New York City. New York City is our biggest economic engine in New Jersey. A lot of people are working in the city and living in New Jersey for the amenities and the closest. So how does Rahway handle its transportation, or what can buyers expect to find in Rahway?
So if transportation is what you're looking for, then Rahway is the place for you, because we are a transportation hub. Okay. We have direct access to the Garden State Parkway and the New Jersey Turnpike. And we also have our train line, which runs two trains an hour into New York City. But we're also where the Northeast Corridor and the Jersey coastline meet. Okay. So you can take a train to train, you can take a train down the Jersey Shore, you can take a train to New York City, all accessible, all readily available, right from the City of Rahway's train station.
And Rahway is the furthest north you can do that, right?
Yes. Once you further south.
South.
So yeah, once you head to Metro Park, you have to come back up to Rahway to catch the
Gotcha. Okay, that's great to know. So keeping on the theme of what buyers are asking about, schools. So everybody wants to know, how are the schools? Now, as you know, I was on the school board in Rahway, so definitely talk to my clients, and I talk about Rahway a lot, but people want to hear from you, the mayor. Tell us about the Rahway schools. Absolutely.
So our Rahway school system is, it matches the diversity of the city. And, your child will be provided a quality education. But I always say that it starts at home when it comes to education. You have to make sure that you have a buy-in from the parents, but we have great teachers, great faculty, and great people in the Rahway school system. I'm a product of the Rahway school system, and I can literally sit here and name you dozens upon dozens of people who are professionals in their field that came from the Rahway school system. So I highly recommend it. My son is now a freshman at Rahway High School. He's in all honors classes, straight A student. So it is what you make of it.
Great. Okay, great. So, Mayor, keeping in line with things that buyers want to know about schools, it always comes up. So as you know, I was on the Board of Education in Rahway, so I like to tell people about the schools, but they want to hear from you. So how are the schools in Rahway? What should people know about them?
So, the City of Rahway school system provides quality education to our residents. But I always say it all starts at home. Mm-hmm. And we find that the parents that are more invested in their kids' education receive a better outcome from our school system.
Absolutely.
Product of the Rahway school system, from K through 12. I know many professionals that have come from the Rahway school system. The opportunity for a quality education is there. It's just all about how the individual takes advantage of it. My son is a freshman now. He's an honor student. He's a straight A student. And that's not a humble brag. That is.
But it is.
But he receives so much attention and such good representation for the school from the school district that when he does have a problem, and he reaches out, he is given the answers to his questions, and I couldn't ask for a better school for him to be in.
So I guess touching base a little bit more on the schools, I know that Rahway has fantastic athletics and also theater,
Yes.
music programs. So could you touch on that a little?
Absolutely. Our arts program is second to none in our Rahway school district, especially in our high school. Our theater classes have won multiple awards throughout the state, and our sports programs are top in the state.
Yep.
I'm a Rahway football and baseball alum, and I still have friendships and bonds with the people that I played sports with in high school to this day.
Excellent, excellent. Lots of Rahway pride, definitely.
Lots of Rahway pride, absolutely.
Great. So Mayor, talking about the community, how is the downtown? How are the restaurants, the entertainment? Well, is there things to do in Rahway?
So I personally think that Rahway's downtown is a very vibrant, hip, happening place. Hashtag Rahway is happening. We are an arts town. We're blessed to have 2 performing arts centers. Our more boutique art centers are Hamilton Stage, which is about 200 seats, and then the main stage, which is our Union County Performing Arts Center, is about 1,300 seats. So we like to use arts as an economic stimulus also for our businesses. Not only downtown, but throughout the city of Rahway.
Yep. Yeah, so I remember, fun fact, I was in the redevelopment agency before, and I learned that the Union County Performing Arts Center was the first $1 million theater in America.
Yes.
Which was, it's awesome, downtown Rahway.
Here's another fun fact. My grandmother and my grandfather, Giacobbe, met at that theater. My grandfather was an usher, and my grandmother was a patron at the theater. So without Union County Performing Arts Center, I may not even be sitting there.
That's great.
It's definitely a special place in more ways than one.
For sure. Rahway has really stood out in Union County and overall in the state for some of its events. I'd say it's a pretty unique thing about Rahway. Could you talk a little bit about the events?
Absolutely. So unfortunately, with the COVID-19 pandemic, in 2020, we were forced to cancel a lot of our signature events. Hot Rods and Harleys is one that comes to mind. Taste of Spring, Rahway Day. But we were able to transform some of our events to be COVID friendly and COVID safe to allow our residents some type of relief from the stress of this pandemic. So 2 that come to mind are our Holiday Spooktacular and our Winter Wonderland series, which we instead of having, as you know, George, we used to have that one big banger event, but what we did is we broke them down into multiple events throughout the weeks of the holiday season. So it kept the crowds down, but it still allowed people to enjoy the holiday spirit. And it was a very successful transformation of some of these events. Moving forward into 2021, Hot Rods and Harleys is scheduled for September. We're going to come out with an official date very soon. Our Taste of Spring is virtual. It's currently going on right now. Please go to RahwayIsHappening.com if you wish to participate. And our 4th of July fireworks are also on. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we have to tread lightly. We don't want to
be safe.
Yes, we don't want to start planning these events and eventually, if the pandemic numbers start to spike, have to cancel them. So we're kind of going by season. So,
but typically speaking, I mean, there's a whole host of events that we have.
We have Big Thursdays at the train station plaza,
which are outdoor events,
outdoor Spanish dance classes and events and stuff like that. We also have our Mayor's Concert Series, which is in August, Thursday nights with headlining bands and entertainment throughout the summer. Also, too, some of our more smaller events are held at our art gallery, where in Black History Month we had an art exhibit that brought artists from all over the state in to show their art, and then we did the same thing for Women's History Month, and we're going to continue to utilize our art gallery to have some of those more smaller boutique type of events that can remain COVID safe, but yet still provide, like I said, an outlet for our residents.
Something to do,
exactly.
That's excellent. Mayor, one of the most important things I would say that people want to know about are property taxes. All right, so as far as property taxes in Rahway, when it comes down to getting pre-approved for a home, we have a couple of things that we have to consider. Property purchase price, homeowner's insurance, things of that nature. But one of the biggest factors is taxes.
Yeah.
So how are property taxes in the city of Rahway?
So since I first took office early in my administration, it has been a priority of mine to stabilize property taxes. Listen, let's be honest, nobody likes paying property taxes. It's definitely a bill that hinders families from doing things that they may want to do. So I have made it an effort to make sure that we are stabilizing the property tax. And I would like to make an announcement here for the first time that on behalf of myself and the Rahway City Council, we are putting forth a budget this year with a 0% municipal tax increase.
Wow.
You couple that with the school board 0% and county 0%, and the residents of Rahway will receive a 0% property tax increase this year.
That's phenomenal. Congratulations.
And thank you. And it was the hard work of the council, myself, our CFO, and my team in general. And we want to make sure that we're providing efficient government in the city of Rahway. And I don't like small government, because sometimes it doesn't make sense to jump over dollars to save pennies, but you want to run it at an efficient rate. And I think that in my administration we've been successful at doing that. That's
great to hear. I tell people all the time, when you're moving somewhere, your government is very important. You got to keep the roads paved.
Yep.
You got to fix the potholes. You got to pick up the trash efficiently. All these things that are essential, but still balance your budget and control it. So I'm really glad to hear that in the city of Rahway. That's excellent. Mayor, now that we've seen what Rahway is now, and people are getting a good idea of it, where do you see Rahway going? What is your vision for the city of Rahway?
So obviously we want to continue our efforts downtown. Mayor Kennedy, now Assemblyman Kennedy, built a foundation 25 plus years ago for our downtown, and that was through redevelopment, and that was through creating our downtown into a transit village using our train station and our accessibility to the highways. I believe phase 2 now of the revitalization of Rahway and our downtown lies in the ability to attract businesses.
Okay.
And I want to be a proactive administration. I want to be a business-friendly administration, that we don't move the goal line, we don't put hurdles in front of you. We try, we work with you, we work with the investor, we work with the business owner to try to, get your business open. And once it's open, it's about supporting it as well, through our Rahway Arts and Business Partnership, through our Chamber of Commerce and many of the events that we hold throughout the city to really support the businesses and give them an opportunity to be profitable.
Thrive. And one thing that I've noticed too in downtown, it's all mom and pop shops. There's no franchising really down there. So.
Yeah, I mean, the small business owner is the lifeblood line of the city of Rahway. There's America, true, but I mean it holds true even more in the city of Rahway. And early in the pandemic, I remember sitting in my office and kind of looking out the window, which overlooks the downtown. And you've been in that office, right? And I remember thinking, wow, our small businesses are not going to be able to survive this shutdown for too much longer. And at that time, I sat down with the Rahway City Council and my staff and my team, and we came up with the Rahway CARES Act. Okay. And that Rahway CARES Act was a 2-phase program that gave $500,000 back to our small business owners. Wow. The first phase was a forgivable loan, and then the second phase was a grant for COVID-specific expenses. Okay. So I'm proud to say I'm proud of my city council, myself, and my administration that we saw a need for the businesses and we took immediate action. Yeah. That money came from our special improvement district assessment. So we basically took the money that we received from the special improvement district and gave it back to the businesses, which ultimately rent from those property owners or are the property owners of the businesses that fund the special improvement district.
That is phenomenal thinking. That's a great government. I'm very happy to hear that. Mayor, I just want to thank you so much for sitting with us and talking to us about it.
My pleasure.
To any buyer out there looking in the market, Rahway is definitely a great place, has a lot of great events and great governance. So these are things that you have to consider when buying a home. I'm going to put links below to all this information, all the events, all the resources that you can use. And if you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to help you out. On behalf of myself and my partners, New World Title, I'd like to thank you for tuning into this, and I'd like to thank you again, Mayor.
My pleasure,
Appreciate
Jorge.
you so much. Have a good one.